Is Reggie Miller above a Klay Thompson in today's game?
No.
Is he a better player than Klay Thompson in today's game?
Here's the thing. Because his story is already said and done, it's easy to say no. However, since we're sitting there, we're entertaining the idea of if he could play today with his type of tenacity, I think.
So, as we get to the last week of The Last Dance, Reggie Miller is going to be a very hot topic of, very, very hot. I'm talking spark it, talking he's on fire hot, as you can tell from the background. That's the theme we're going for, blah, blah, blah. But Reggie Miller is going to be a big topic of conversation. If he were to play in today's game, do we really have to ask this in a three-point shooting game? Could he play today? Of course he could play today. P.Kidd, go ahead, break down the Reggie Miller thoughts you may have right now.
All right, so we're gonna snapshot this real quick. The one thing I will have to say is my man Reg is by far one of the most disrespected Reggies of the game. Now, here's why I say that.
Disrespected for a reason, though. Reggie was mad disrespectful to a lot of people.
he was mad disrespectful. However, here's the thing with Reg, though. This is one of those players where the numbers don't tell the full story. You know, nowadays when you Google somebody, you're like, all right, what does this dude average? Like, what did he really put up since we talking about him as such? You know, when they speak so high of him, they say, oh, this man averaged 18, 3, and 3.
Right.
That don't tell the whole story, especially when we get to the part where he's facing off against Jordan and some of the battles they had.
Right.
Reggie was a stud. And some could say that he was actually overlooked for a lot of years. I would love to get his opinion on it because for the most part, especially during the 90s, Reggie missed very few games. Averaged on average was a 20-4 player.
Right.
I can't remember many shooting guards being better than him outside of MJ. And
I put Clyde above him. Clyde the Glide was a dog. Unless you're talking just Eastern Conference.
Just Eastern Conference.
Okay,
because,
just Eastern Conference. That's a whole different thing.
Clyde was a dog, and people always snub Portland for not drafting Jordan, but Clyde had some good upside.
I mean, he wasn't Michael Jordan, but he was a dog.
Ain't nobody Michael Jordan.
You don't get a pass for missing out on that. How's Sam Bowie looking at you? But anyway.
But here's the one thing I do want to know, right? So realistically, Reggie's numbers don't really do him justice,
right? In
my opinion. And I think just really the style of game at that time, just looking at the numbers as I'm looking at them now,
absolutely.
Like the 3-point shot wasn't as prominent as it is now. Like Reggie was considered a high volume 3-point shooter then, and at the time, he at his height, he only averaged 6 threes a game, 6 attempts a game.
Yeah.
Right, 6 attempts and roughly three of those made. So he's close to a 50% shooter at 47%, close to a 40% 3-point shooter. If we put him in today's game, the way he played, the way he ran that pick and roll, the way he just balled out, we're looking at somebody that's averaging 28 plus a game. Easy money.
Honestly, I can't argue it because I think in this space and pace game, Reggie, especially like you said, they use the 3-pointer in Indiana more than most, but for the most part, it was still a lot of Reggie. Like much don't see it. Like them young clips of Reggie are Reggie cutting to the bucket, getting alley-oops, dunking the ball, making tight layups, getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like those were and people were like, well, we'll give him that because we got to worry about him on the 3. In today's game,
you ain't giving up 3.
You're not. I mean,
you ain't
Reggie.
Giving that 3 up.
Now, I think the question becomes, and I wouldn't doubt if he could, but the question becomes, what would his range be? Because back then, the 3-point shot was like, take a step behind the line and pull it up. It wasn't today's Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, walk across half court, pull that mug up, walk back down, don't even look at it as it goes into the rim. Could he extend his range that far? That becomes the biggest question to me because if you're a 3-point shooter that's playing on the line in today's game, you're going to see a lot more defense than the Dame Lillards and the Steph Currys do coming off a screen at half court.
You know what? And for all those who are actually tuned in, do me a favor. Actually retweet this, like tag him, do whatever you got to do. I really want to get Reggie Miller's take on this. Like real talk, I really want to see if he'll reply to it, because I honestly feel in this league of very little, I don't consider it very little defense, but considering how many possessions and stuff like that, how fast paced it is and stuff like that, defense is one of those things that really does get like I don't want to say overlooked, but you get what I'm trying to allude to.
I think it's far and few between. Like but in the 90s, you couldn't point out a great defender. You could point out elite defenders. Dennis Rodman, an elite defender. You know what I'm saying? The glove, Gary Payton, an elite defender. He was next level. In today's game, we can point out just great defenders. Like when I think defense, I instantly think Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, Paul George. That's 3 right off rip.
But you point them out so easily because they're the ones that put forth the effort in
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so far and few between in today's game. So I think Reggie, like you said, I think Reggie could dominate today's game. The question for me would be, would he be able to extend his range enough, and then how
would he have to?
I think he would, because I think more defense is played at the line because everybody's expecting it. So if Reggie, depending on the team too, I mean, if you put him on today's Pacer team, you're going to get a lot different Reggie Miller than you would get on the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Because the Warriors' offensive style is literally screen, pull up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
if you put him in today's game, I think he would dominate, but I think the system would be very important to Reggie. Because do we view Reggie as a pull-up?
I think Reggie would be like Klay Thompson.
And that's the point I'm about to make. I think we view Steph. I think
Reggie would be like that.
I think we view Steph Curry as he can pull up anywhere, anytime with anybody on him, and he's probably going to make the shot. I think we view Klay Thompson more as he's in the right space, in the right system, and if he's open, it's a dagger. But I don't think we view Klay as you stand right there in front of him with a hand in his face and he pulls up on you, it's automatic. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, somebody tag Klay Thompson too, because he's another person that don't get nearly the amount of respect. Even on 2K, this man has an 89 rating. I don't know who the heck came up with that list, but listen. Listen. Whoever did that need to be gut checked, because I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Go ahead.
Game 6 Klay is as legendary as any player we've seen.
Absolutely.
And it's a Game 6 Klay, for some odd reason, just does not lose and does not miss.
Is Reggie Miller above a Klay Thompson in today's game?
No.
Is he a better player than Klay Thompson in today's game?
Here's the thing. Because his story is already said and done, it's easy to say no. However, since we're sitting there, we're entertaining the idea of if he could play today with his type of tenacity, I think he would be better than Klay. And that's no disrespect to Klay. That's just Reggie Miller was kind of like a pioneer for this like type of style, if you want to think of it like that. And now he will be able to totally, reign supreme in a league that is predicated on. I mean, James Harden takes 13 threes in the game.
13? I feel like that's a little low.
Listen.
Feel like that might be an average, but that might be a little low.
You give Reggie 13 threes in a game, I really feel like we're looking at somebody averaging 28, 30 points a game.
Right.
Easy money. So, hey, I that's what. And then on top of that, it's hard to. I think people do this all the time, so I'm not gonna mention that. Never mind. People always mention Cheryl when they talk about Reggie. And
I mean, listen, that's a whole different thing. Like Cheryl's probably the best women's basketball player ever, but that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing, That's a debate we should have. We might have to change the episode for a day. Could she play today? Let's have the Cheryl Miller episode. Hey, hold on. We can't disrespect Reggie like this. We can't let his sister have her day on his episode. We can't do that. Another question, and if you guys are enjoying the content, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We are going to be talking NBA weekly. Be on the lookout for P.Kidd coming out with some new stuff. It's going to be fire in the game, ladies and gentlemen. In today's game, does Reggie regain his crown as greatest three-point shooter ever?
I'm gonna let you take first dibs on that. I'm gonna let you take a crack at that one.
I asked the question. I didn't expect to have to answer right off the bat. That's so tough. That's so tough. I'm gonna have to say, in my opinion, in my opinion, great players adjust, right? That's what I've always said. Hall of Fame players adjust. Reggie Miller is clearly a Hall of Fame player.
He definitely is in a Hall of Fame. He actually is in a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Hall of Fame players adjust. I think Reggie Miller would adjust to today's game, and the fact that he is, what's Reggie, 6'6"?
6'7".
6'7", that wiry frame. I think he quick. You know what I'm saying? If he's coming off, you gotta think about it. Reggie was getting one screen. Yeah. Reggie was getting one screen back then. Reggie would probably regain his title as greatest shooter of all time in today's game, because I think Steph. That's so tough because Steph hit some crazy shots though. That's so tough. That's so tough. I think he would go down as most consistent. I'll say that.
So, boy, over Steph, most consistent?
I don't know, bro. I'm struggling with this one. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Hey, so listen, this is one of those things where you looking for like the edge to have something to like,
and there isn't
disagree
one.
with, and there isn't one. But the one thing I will say is I don't think he'd be more consistent than Steph. And here's why I don't think he'd be considered the greatest shooter. Here's my take on it. Steph is a shorter guard.
Yes.
Steph has to work so much harder to get that open shot.
Right.
When you look at some of the shots that Steph hits, I'm not saying Reggie couldn't have hit some of those shots, but some of the shots that Steph hits, it's just like ain't no chance in heck that should have went in. And he does it on such a consistent basis. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. You know, he
practices the off balance shot.
He practices
the off balance shot.
And on top of all of that, like, let's be fair.
I think that's why I say more consistent, because we know Reggie had the stroke, and so I think regular 3-point, like if you need a three, like Ray Allen. Ray Allen wasn't the off balance 3-point killer.
Ray Allen is actually, his whole career to me is just amazing, because at first he was the man taking it to the cup.
Bro, he was the man.
Hey, I think people forget about Light It Up. What was it? Light It Up?
No, bro, but they forget all about Jesus. They forget all about Jesus Shuttleworth. Boy,
Ray was getting it in.
The only black man allowed to have the name Jesus in a movie. when you, and I think that's why I said most consistent, because like Klay Thompson is consistent, Ray Allen was consistent, Steph Curry is freaky. So I mean, that's, like I said, it's tough to make it best shooter ever.
You know what, I gotta challenge you on most consistent, because Steph shoots a near 44% 3-point percentage, while Reggie shot 39.
Yeah, but I think with more shots though, Reggie probably gets around there. I could see Reggie getting around above, north of 40%.
Okay.
Exactly, you know. This one of them episodes where it's like, maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's so tough to debate that greatest shooter, because the question is what qualifies you as the greatest shooter. I think we give Steph that crown because he hits the crazy shots and he shoots a high volume of them. I think Reggie would shoot that same high volume in today's game and possibly could be known as the greatest shooter because he would hit those high volume shots. We don't put Kevin Durant in the greatest shooter of all time category because
I don't know why we don't.
But listen, he's got it.
I don't know why we don't.
He's easy money sniper for sure. You know what I'm saying? Easy money sniper for sure. But because he does so much else, we don't really put him in the greatest shooter of all time talk. We just like, oh, Kevin Durant in the post, crazy. Kevin Durant mid-range, crazy. Kevin Durant driving, crazy. Kevin Durant from three, crazy. You know what I'm saying? With Reggie, I think Reggie in today's game doesn't do a lot of the things he did in the 90s, doesn't drive to the bucket as much, doesn't look for the alley-oop as much. I think Reggie's gonna be like, oh, I'm a shooter in today's game? Oh, shooters gotta shoot, baby. Shooters gotta shoot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
But here's the thing. Here's what it all boils back down to. It's just the evolution of the game. The 3-point shot is now practiced more now. It's taken at a higher clip. So you're gonna see more attempts go up, but you're also gonna see with these players practicing it more, you're gonna see the percentages go up.
Right,
so
absolutely.
I totally agree. Like, it's hard to say. I think that regardless, Reggie would be top 5. I think he'd be a top 5 guard in today's league. Easy. I say easy on that one.
What? See, this is the thing. When you look at Reggie, I never look at Reggie for defense either. Like, Reggie could play it, but like Reggie wasn't a lock. So I think there's some other.
He made you run so much on defense, though.
That's true. That's true. He was dead on offense. Well, hold on. Like, the last dance show why these dudes couldn't keep up. They smoking stogies in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? At halftime, like, of course they can't keep up with Reggie.
Hey, that's hilarious, bro.
You gotta have a good diet to keep up with Reggie, is what we say.
For real. But hey, listen, everybody who's tuning in, let us know what you think. Absolutely. Shout out your favorite shooter. Tag Reggie. Somebody just shout him out, get him on here. We want to get his opinion, even if it's just a comment. But definitely want to make sure that we give our flowers to some legends while they're still here, because we should know that if something would have happened to Reggie, everybody be talking about how great he is.
Now he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Now he's up there. Now we get these special things. Now we want to make sure we do that while you're here. So shout out to Reggie for that, man. For real.
Facts. Make sure that y'all continue to subscribe. Make sure that y'all like the video as always. We're going to get up out of here. I am Pat the Designer, joined by P.Kidd. Y'all stay safe out there, world. Peace.